Mac here, bringing you another little video over here. I'm just gonna vibe right now, really. I mean, I have really nothing, no big, large, major things to discuss or talk about. I mean, nothing comes to mind as of right now, this very second. I was hoping for some sort of inspiration starting this video, but I literally got nothing. I'm just traveling on doing my normal route to work, or route from work to the house. I decided to record this video this afternoon, hopefully with getting some sort of inspiration going on. I just literally had no inspiration going on. We just been honestly, I've just been tired more than anything. It's today I was supposed to do some things for school. I know I'm gonna regret not doing anything today because I just know I'm gonna regret it, but for real, like today I just literally opened up the school, went to the website, got on the logged onto Blackboard and stuff, and literally just felt no motivation to do anything. I was just dead and just decided to try to do some stuff at work. I did a little bit of stuff at work, but ultimately I'm just dead ass tired is what it is. There's a little old fawn right there crossing the road. I'll tell you what, these springtime deer, or springtime animals in general like that, they got a much brighter looking coat than the fall deer do. You can certainly tell when they get their spring coat on. They're a much lighter colored. Makes sense because everything's more lighter than when it's gray and darker during the winter time. And they're just so much brighter, and they look beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Them hides this time of year look absolutely beautiful. It's a shame we can't. It's a shame we can't just get rid of them, or shoot them during the springtime sometimes. But it makes sense. It's when they give birth to and something just occurred to me that one second. Something just occurred to me that I'm curious to see what you guys' reactions are to it, and curious to see what you guys' initial thoughts on it and whatnot is snakes. Mainly snakes on the road that are just crossing the road and stuff. Do you try avoiding them, or do you try hitting them? Now, most people around here, especially, or most people in general, they see a snake on the side of the road, they try speeding up and try hitting that damn thing square in the head. Alright? And don't get me wrong, it is what it is. If I can avoid a snake or try helping it alongside the road, push it a little, I will gladly do it, because a snake honestly is one of them animals that's been that is honestly misconceptualized as to always being evil, always being wanting to bite. It's just it's very weird how a lot of these animals and folklore and myth, a lot of these animals are just ostracized from the past. I mean, mainly have in the past. Like take it for instance, wolves. For instance, it's a canine species, right? Man's best friend. However, the wolf in particular is one of them species of animals that, despite its cousins being man's best friend, which are dogs and things of that nature, wolves are the canines that had a tendency to refuse to domesticate, and that gave them a bad name, especially when humanity started settling down instead of going from the hunter-gatherer lifestyle to farming and agriculture and things of that nature. And now these wolves are becoming a threat. They don't want to be tamed, so just wipe them all out. In case of point, many countries around the world, or many areas, they completely eradicated the wolf in particular, which is very strange to me. I mean, it's the same with coyotes. I mean, coyotes have a bad name as well, despite being, that canine species also getting a bad name, and they're just doing what they're doing. I mean, it's not like they're specifically going after people. Now, don't get me wrong, there have been historical cases where if you look real hard, you can always find when somebody's being attacked stuff like that. And the animals start getting used to people. However, they're wild animals. You can't just expect to go up there and start petting them on the head. And it just takes one asshole or one sudden movement to send this animal to shock and on a frenzy. Now, animals aren't stupid. They really are not stupid. They have recognized over thousands of years that the bipedal man is... Sorry, I got a bug bite on the back of this leg. I got like tons of whelps on the back of these legs and stuff. I'm trying to avoid scratching and stuff. But a lot of these animals have learned to avoid the bipedal animal, which is man, right? Because if you look at it, look at everything zoologically, or things of that nature. When it comes to large animals, large terrestrial type animals, I'm not talking about insects. I'm talking about either warm-blooded or cold-blooded, like reptiles and amphibians, snakes. Snakes are also an exception to that weird group, I'm about to mention. But most large-scale animals, terrestrial animals, are quadrupeds, with the exception of Homo sapiens sapiens, or something like that, whatever our genealogy is and stuff, with the exception of humanity. Now, these animals have learned over thousands of years to avoid these bipedal animals as best they can. Now, there are still some instances where you can't avoid it, because guess what? Man is pretty much in a lot of places everywhere, and it's also the fact that man is, pretty much man's presence is pretty much, felt everywhere, or seen everywhere and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some places out in the wild that, despite them knowing what man is, they will still attack man if provoked, typically, right? I mean, there's been cases where it's close encounters with large bears, wolves, out there in the countries of Africa where I don't know why you would want to walk around in the middle of the night in Africa, but there might be some cases where, hyenas, lions, etc., may have attacked people. And it just goes to show that typically animals are afraid of us two-legged beings, typically, right? Now they can't avoid us 100%. Now we can't avoid them. Now, what we can do compared to what they can do is use our higher intellect to avoid the situation, avoid being in a disasterly situation, which means, for instance, you're out there. This ain't just with carnivores, people. It's also with quadrupeds, or herbivores, large herbivores like mooses and elk. Now, those animals will get very aggressive towards people if you do something stupid. And I have seen instances where a mama moose will attack somebody, and there's also been instances where female whitetail will attack people for getting too close to their fawn, or things of that nature. It's very funny. It really is just very funny. But these are some of those weird instances where you, as a person, could have used a little bit more common sense to avoid it. For instance, it's okay to view a large moose a few hundred yards away, view a large moose because you've never seen a large moose before, or you see a large grizzly bear, or you see a black bear. I don't really know if black bears are really all that aggressive. Never really, from what I've read, black bears are not really that aggressive. Or buffalo, or animals of that nature. You look at them and it's like they're not really all that bad out of far, and that's where you should view them. That's honestly where you should say them. You should stay out of their way. They want to stay out of your way. They don't want to be near you. You shouldn't want to be near them. But you get people that want to get up real close to these animals, and they start feeling threatened. They start getting nervous. I mean, they're flighting, just like with people when they get around intense situations. It's a flight or fight response. And sometimes, just being so large, they're trying to run away is going to run straight through you, or their fight, or suddenly their fight response comes in. They just want to just make you submit. It's weird. I enjoy wildlife. I thoroughly enjoy wildlife. I enjoy seeing them. I enjoy being with them. But I fully respect that I am a guest in their environment. If I'm in their environment, I'm a guest in their environment. And I fully expect to play by certain rules, like I would expect somebody to play by certain rules if they're within my property or things of that nature. So it just baffles me how some people, now I can't attain how some people may feel as though they've been stalked by an animal, because I've never personally been stalked by an animal, but I have been in some sketchy situations where I'll run up on a rattlesnake or cottonmouth, copperhead, or something of that nature, and I don't go out there and specifically provoke the animal. And I also just don't grab a stick and beat it to death like some people do. Now, I fully understand that it's venomous snakes, but if you don't touch it, or you don't mess with it, it's going to avoid you, and it's going to stay away from you. I have seen actual, like, smaller animals like raccoons and possums be more aggressive than some of these large animals that people are afraid of. It is absolutely funny. I have seen a possum just come up to me and just hissing and growling, just pissed off at me. Nothing wrong with the possum. It just thought it could get away with it, and I kicked the shit out of it. I'm not gonna lie. I learned its lesson. It never came back, and I didn't do anything to provoke it. Now I fully understand. I may have just been in its way. I don't know, but it is what it is. It's just one of those weird things, because you have to find, as a nature person, as somebody who likes to be outdoors, I have to fully accept that it may not fully be in my control, and I also have to fully accept that other people do not view it the same way as I do. I'm not going out there to go, if I'm going, let's say I bring up family to, like, go see if we can find a grizzly bear up in the Yukon or whatever. Great big old grizzly bear. Yeah, I'll bring them out there. I'm not going within, I'll be with, close, like a good distance away from viewing it, okay? Or one of them steel strap cages, hopefully that is secure enough to avoid that fucker tearing it apart, okay? I fully accept that, and I fully accept that there may be a risk associated with it. Like, for instance, I want to go cage diving with great white sharks. I fully understand that fucker. You've all seen one of those that one video where the shark gets on top of the cage. They use this B-roll actually in, like, I can't remember. I think Jaws actually or something. But where the shark got on top of the cage and started thrashing around and stuff. I fully accept that shit might happen. Doesn't mean I blame the animal if it fucking freaks out and I get a bit or something. No. I fully accept it. That's the reason why I'm probably gonna have to sign a waiver if I do it, so I don't have the right to sue people. But needless to say, I fully understand my actions, and I will never truly blame the animal for attacking me, especially if I provoke it. Okay, that's something I'm trying to teach my daughter that as well, because a lot of the times these kids and stuff get this false sense of notion because they're around their animal, their dog or something of that nature, that they can go ahead and pull its tail or grab its ear or things of that nature. Now, should a house dog freak out unless it's been trained to not be touched by other people? No, it shouldn't, because honestly, house animals are not fucking real animals, okay? Real wild animals. They are science experiments by men, okay? They are not real animals, because I can tell you this much: if my dogs were let loose, they would probably be dead, eaten by a coyote, or just starved to death, or something of that nature, they would not make it. Okay? And that's the same for every other household animal. They will fucking not make it. Because household animals are not real wild animals. Now, the reason why I'm also telling her, trying to make sure she doesn't like pull some dog's ear or some cat's tail or something like that, even our own, is because our dogs won't do anything to her, because they know full well we don't like that, and they've come close one time and made sure that would never happen again. So they don't do anything. They fully understand, and also make sure and tell the baby girl that don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. She fully understands not to do it, because somebody else's pet may not have been trained that way, or may not be familiar with toddlers or things of that nature. You make that dog nervous. A household animal that this person had for 6 years suddenly gets aggressive because a toddler pulls its tail or grabs its ears. And also, cats are just straight up assholes and just do it anyways, regardless of how well you fucking train them. So fuck them animals. I'm not a cat person, okay? I do not like the felines. I do not like cats at all. They're just bipolar animals, in my opinion. But yeah, you gotta teach your kids not to do stupid things like that, because I can tell you, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. It is funny to say, hey, go jump on that cow. You know, I'll give you $20 to go jump on that cow. It's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's fully funny. The kid's familiar with it, but that kid, those people are going to be familiar with animals a lot more than somebody who just thinks it's going to be a great idea to go slap a bison on the ass, or go try touching a moose's ass or something like that. They don't fully realize that the thing could pretty much kill you or attack you, and it's all going to be your own damn fault, honestly. So that's just that's a little random is what I'm talking about, because we all have different upbringing. Not you, jackass. You suck. Anyways. Yeah, I honestly have no idea what the hell I was talking about. I just saw a snake on the road, and I went down this weird ass tangent about some weird shit, and lo and behold, I come upon like wild animal attacks. You know, it's also funny. It's like them folks who go out to either the Caribbeans or the Great Barrier Reefs or something like that, and they're in the scuba suits and everything, and they're viewing the sharks. Yes, it's great. I would like to do it one day. And they have and the specialist divers, they have pouches of the food and stuff like on their side and whatnot, and they're feeding these animals, getting up close and personal. The scuba divers are all like that. And then later down the line, they've learned that there's been a few shark attacks, and it's all around that area where the shark knows where the food is, and they assume these bipedal animals, or this bipedal creature, this weird looking creature, has it right there, and they can just get some right there real quick. Easy meal. Fair enough. That just shows that the animals do recognize humans, and sometimes we're in their territory, and sometimes it's our own. We make mistakes of our own regarding it, and it's a damn shame that once a mistake like that happens, or once a incident like that happens, there becomes like a culling for these animals, and it's not their fault. I mean, it's mainly our fault. I mean, they can only learn so much. It's not like they have a superior mind like us. They can only learn so much and retain for so much about certain things. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about, guys. I really have nothing else. I mean, honestly, I didn't really have a lot to talk about to begin with. I'm just I'm vibing, chilling, and just driving home. I'm almost home, as a matter of fact. Just needed to kill some time. So anyways, if you guys liked what I'm talking about, go ahead and give me a like, and while you're at it, go ahead and comment, because you want to just say how much I suck, and shouldn't be doing this, go ahead and comment that. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe so you can make fun of me every single video that comes out like you're a fucking idiot. That's perfectly fine by me. Let's do this, alright? Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and as always, work hard. Peace!